Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome inside the St. Louis Park Rec Center. We apologize for the technical issues. Right now, we do have audio capabilities. 3:37 remaining in the first period. 2-0. Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead over the visiting Rochester Lourdes Eagles. There's a shot in on goal, deflected up into the far side corner. Red Knights working it through the corner. Now backing it out toward the blue line, trying to reset. It is kicked out toward the blue line by the Eagles, but still in their zone now. They are able to get it toward the blue line. Now pushed back into the near side corner. Back down low. Pass up high. It goes through the far side wall. Play continuing in the Rochester Lourdes zone. As the puck dribbles in on net, it's still loose. It somehow goes off the side of the cage, rolls its way around. Play continuing behind the Rochester Lourdes net. Now up high for Benilde, shot down low. Puck's loose in front of the net. And then it bounces off the stick of one of the Red Knights players. Now out to the red line. Red Knights moving from left to right. There's a shot whiffed on by Charlie Johnson. 2:37 now remaining in the first period. Once again, 2-0 in favor of the Red Knights over the visiting Rochester Lourdes Eagles. As the Eagles send this one down into their offensive end. It's banked off the near side wall through the neutral zone. And the Eagles playing it toward their blue line in their purple jerseys with yellow trim. Red Knights playing it behind their own net at the left end of the screen that you're looking at. Red Knights now trying to get it back out to neutral ice. They do. They cross the red line. Dumped in there. Played by the Eagles back toward the blue line, but the Red Knights able to hold it into the zone. Now sent back out toward the red line. The Red Knights playing it at their blue line, then it's deflected over the blue line, now sent all the way back down in for an icing, and we'll have a face-off in the Rochester defensive end. 1:46 in the first period. The two Red Knights goals coming at 6:20 from Sam Ryan. That made it 1-0. And then at 7:30 from Cooper Gay. That made it 2-0. It's a face-off deep in the Rochester zone possessed by the Red Knights. A shot out. The net is blocked. Play behind the net. Matt Kroll has it for the Red Knights. Now on the near side board. Now sent back around the Red Knight net. Out of the Eagle net, there's a shot that goes wide off the stick of one of the Red Knights. Play continuing in the corner, now out to the neutral zone where it's tipped back in. Would have been offside if it was played by the Red Knights. Eagles into the offensive zone. They'll play it around the Red Knight net as it circles around to the near side boards. Banked off the front area as the Eagles able to hold the zone. Come the Red Knights the other way. Through center ice, but nice job by the Eagles to knock the Knights off the puck. Play on the bench area on the far side. Red Knights will play it behind their own net with 50.3 seconds in the first period. 2-0 Red Knights with the lead. Play now at center ice, and now puck sent up into the bench with 43.2 to go in the first period. Once again, we want to apologize for some of our technical difficulties. We'll get the video component online as soon as possible. We'll have a face-off right at center ice. It's won and controlled by the Eagles. They'll send it in deep to the offensive zone. 37 seconds remaining in the period. Red Knights playing it behind their net. They come their other way with Will Thompson. Thompson through the red line into the offensive zone. Now played into the far side corner. Thompson will get it behind the Eagle net. He'll bank it off the near side wall, winding up for a blast that's saved by Zach Walston, the goaltender for the Eagles today. As it's pushed into the far side corner as we go under 10 seconds remaining in the first period. It continues in front of the Lord bench as the first period will come to an end. A period dominated by the Red Knights. They lead 2-0. They lead 18-2 in shots on goal. Just a quick recap. We apologize again for the difficulties that kept us off the air for most of the first period. Red Knights scoring at 6:20 from Sam Ryan, and then again at 7:30 from Cooper Gay. And they dominated once again in the shots on goal, 18-2 in that first period. The home Red Knights Just a dominant first period against the Rochester Lourdes Eagles. We'll take a break and we'll come back for the second period in a little bit. Don't go anywhere. Listening to the Catholic Sports Network coverage of Benilde St. Margaret hockey. Welcome back, everybody, to the Catholic Sports Network. You're currently listening to the Rochester Lourdes Eagles taking on the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights, getting set to start the second period. It's a nice face-off won by the Eagles of Rochester Lourdes. They'll play it down deep into their defensive zone, though, as it's currently in the near side corner and sent around the Eagle net. Eagles playing it now up toward the far side along the right wing side. They'll try to clear it out. They can. Still in the far side corner on the right wing. Poked away there by one of the Red Knights. The Red Knights trying to play it through the corner. Unable to do so, though, and we'll have a battle as a player takes a tumble down to the ice for Rochester Lourdes. Eventually the Eagles do come out with it. They'll sprint toward the blue line. They'll get out to center ice, but well defended by the Red Knights, and it's sent right back into the neutral zone, now drifting down into the Lourdes zone once again. Red Knights come away with it. They look to set something up down low. Here's a shot down low. Save by Walston. It deflects on the board. It's still loose out front, and it'll be stopped. With 14 minutes now on the clock in the second period. 18-2 in shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. Patrick Lilia providing the live audio coverage right now. Want to apologize for not having our video component at the moment. Technical difficulties this afternoon. We'll get that online for you as soon as possible as the Eagles won the face-off. Red Knights rolling it down the zone. There's a puck out loose off, trying to redirect it into the net, but able to scoot over and make the save was Walston. Red Knights still possessing it in the offensive zone. Now the Eagles with it along the near side boards. Good job by the Red Knights. They poke it back into the corner to the near side, and now it brings its way around into the far side corner. There are 3 purple jerseys and 1 red and white jersey down there, but a good job by the Red Knights. They send it back into the near side corner. Knocked off the puck there by Reuel Brumley of the Eagles. Play continues in the near side corner. 13-15 second period, 2-0 Red Knights with the lead. They'll play it behind the net, looking to set something up out front. Eagles possessing it along the near side boards, but then it's quickly sent right back into the corner. It'll drift its way around the net once again, where the Eagles will control it there. We banked off the near side boards. The Red Knights able to possess it, and then it gets by Sam Ryan. It'll drift all the way down into the Benilde zone. They'll go get it behind their own net. Play continuing now along the near side boards. Eagles trying to force a mistake as the Red Knights bring it into the center of the ice. They send it out to center ice, but it's picked off there by the Eagles. They'll send it down into the defensive zone. They'll play it in their own corner. Red Knights trying to keep their foot on the gas. 12-17 to go second period. 2-0 Benilde St. Margaret with the lead. Play now in the near side boards just outside of the neutral zone. Cross ice pass is dumped all the way in. It'll play behind the Eagle net. Eagles will try to play it there. A couple of Red Knights there to try to create some havoc. As play now on the near side boards. Red Knights playing it in the neutral zone just past the red line. Now bringing it into the offensive zone are the Red Knights, but carrying it in offside was Will Thompson, and we'll have a face-off outside of the Rochester blue line with 11:50 remaining in the second period. 2-0 Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. 21-2 shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. Face-off on the far side, just outside of the blue line, pushed down into the offensive zone for the Red Knights. Now a battle in front of the Red Knight bench. Finally squirts its way out up high as it's poked back in. There's a big hit at center ice between Ethan Smith of Rochester and Dylan McNulty of the Red Knights. Red Knights back into the offensive zone, looking to set something up along the far side. Play now behind the Rochester net. We'll set something up down low in the face-off circle as the puck ends up deflecting up over the net. It's still possessed by the Red Knights. Now the Eagles able to get it out to center ice. Streaking up the right wing side is Smith. Smith with a shot that trickles wide. Trying to go stick side on Jack Olson, the Red Knight goaltender, haven't really had a chance to talk about him because there hasn't really been a lot of action in the defensive end for the Red Knights as the Knights bank it down. They go into the offensive zone, winding up for a slap shot save by Walston that was off the stick of Toby Curtis. Red Knights possessing it now in the high end of their own zone. They'll play it through the neutral zone. It'll trickle its way down into the Rochester end, working its way behind the Eagle net. A couple of players tie up there. Another battle forming behind the Eagle net. Puck trickles out onto the near side. Now sent out to the neutral zone. Eagles back toward the other direction into their offensive zone with speed is Dustin Sorensen. Sorensen, though, knocked off the puck. Play continuing now behind the Red Knight net, bringing it into the near corner now. Sent back into the corner. Eagles trying to force a mistake down low. Puck sent all the way back around the Red Knight net, play along the far side boards. And then poked back out to the neutral zone in front of the bench areas on the far side. As getting an opportunity in the offensive zone and a shot on goal was Cooper Gay, who has one of the 2 goals. Red Knights able to hold the zone up high. Deflection goes wide off one of the Red Knights sticks. Play continuing now in the corner. Red Knights able to hold the zone on the near side, but here come the Eagles the other way out to neutral ice with McNulty. That's Sorensen, who had the shot a moment ago. Sorensen sends one toward the side of the net. It's a big hit in the near side corner. Red Knights come out with it the other way. This battle's continuing along the near side as it's free out front. There's a save made as Olsen had to get out of position. Play continues near side boards. Eagles able to hold it in. Well, the Red Knights trying to get it out to center ice. We have a battle along the near side glass. It'll be sent back around to the back of the Red Knight net. Knights play it around their net at the top of the far circle. Here come the Red Knights the other way through center ice. Getting the blue line. There's a shot that goes high up into the netting off the stick of Jake Hankinson, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Rochester zone with 8:34 to go in the second period. 2-0, Benilde St. Margaret's. Listening to Catholic Sports Network coverage of Benilde St. Margaret's hockey this afternoon. We apologize, the video component not quite online yet this afternoon. We'll get that as soon as possible. Face-off won and controlled by the Eagles, but the Red Knights play it up high. Here's a shot down low. It'll be knocked down and then had to be swept in with the stick of Walston as it started to trickle away from him. 25th shot on goal for the Red Knights with 8:23 to go here in the second period. Face off to the left of Walston this time. As it comes free to one of the Red Knights, and he'll get a shot that's deflected wide. The Eagles possessing it now in the zone. They get it out to neutral ice, dumped in along the near side. It'll play its way around the net. Red Knights will play it alongside their own net, along the far side, now out to center ice. Across the red line, come the Red Knights into the offensive zone. Thrown high over the net into the far corner from near side to far. Go back out to center ice. Eagles bring it into the offensive zone, winding up for a blast to Sorensen, and he scores. Dustin Sorensen letting one rip from just below the St. Louis Park Oriole logo on the ice here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. And Sorensen with a loud blast gets the Eagles on the board. It's 2-1. No, Dustin Sorensen let that one rip. Jack Olsen didn't have much of a chance at that one. That was just a blast that Olsen couldn't quite catch up with. Beat him high on the stick side, and it's 2-1. 7:30 now remaining in the second period. Red Knights at the red line. They'll dump it into the offensive zone. Eagles will play it around their net. Reversing direction now, trying to get it around, but a good job by the Red Knights. That cross ice pass from far side to near side didn't connect, and here come the Eagles into the offensive zone. But a good job by the Red Knights defenders catching up to that one. Red Knights back to center ice. They come into the offensive zone with Gay. Gay trying to work his way around. He does, but the shot is saved by Walston. Knights back at center ice. Will reset, bring it back into the offensive zone on the far side. Looking to play it around his net. Centering feed, that one a little bit too hot to handle for Ryan. It'll bounce off his stick. Red Knights still maintaining possession. There's a shot into traffic. Along the near side, playing it behind the net are the Knights now. Centering feed, and not able to get a lot on that one was Kroll, or he might have had a great chance at putting that one in. But I don't think Walston was quite ready for it, and now a shot on goal held onto by Walston. 6:24 to go in the second period. 2-1, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead over Rochester Lourdes. Dustin Sorensen a moment ago letting one rip from about the St. Louis Park Orioles logo on the right end of the ice here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center, and it made it 2-1. 6:18 now remaining in the second period. 28-5 in shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. Certainly a great performance by Walston so far, stopping 26 of 28. Continuing in the Red Knights offensive zone, they'll look to play it around their net. Here's Kroll. Kroll bringing it back into the far side corner. Now we'll leave it down low behind the net. Will bank their way out. Now it's be sent down low into traffic. Continuing behind the Eagle net once again. We'll play it along the near side. They'll bring it out to center ice along the near side. Trying to get it ahead, but it goes off a skate. Now down into the Red Knight zone. Cross ice pass will bank off the far side wall out into the neutral zone. And then another pass banking off the near side boards. Play continuing in the neutral zone. Red Knights have it. They'll bring it into the offensive zone. Play into the near side corner. Eagles possessing it behind their net along the far side. Couple of Red Knights there to take it away as there's a shot that's deflected off of a leg and it goes into the near side corner. Setting up down low. Here's a shot into traffic once again. That was off the stick of Hankinson. Red Knights along the far side boards into the corner. Continuing into the Rochester end as Walston will have to cover it up. 4:53 to go second period. 2-1 in favor of the Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. Got off to that flying start in the first period, but the Eagles have ground their heels in here in the second. Some good chances for the Red Knights, but Walston standing tall in net for the Eagles. That's given the Eagles a chance to trim the lead. 2-1 in favor of the Red Knights. If the Red Knights win the faceoff on the far side, here's a shot into traffic that's blocked. It'll trickle into the near side corner. Red Knights continuing to play it in the corner. It'll be centering attempt that will sort of float its way in, knocked down by the Red Knights. Play continuing behind the Eagle net. Working his way around, looking for something in the middle, not there. Play in the near side corner. Here's Axel Toft down low with it. That one worms its way into traffic and is sent out to neutral ice along the near side. Red Knights send it back in with McNulty. And quickly into the offensive zone for the Red Knights, trying to work his way around, but then getting tied up in front of the net. Continuing in the offensive zone for the Red Knights, up high toward the blue line, now sent into the corner, toward the back of the net, now along the far side boards once again. Bouncing puck in toward the net, it's still loose. Now it is covered up by Walston with 3:54 remaining in the second period. Now the face-off to Walston's left with 3:54 remaining in the period. It's controlled by the Eagles. They'll reverse direction. They'll bring it around their own net. Good job by the Red Knights to knock the Eagle player off the puck. Centering feed, nobody there. It'll drift all the way to the far side boards. Into the corner. Red Knights looking to play it around the Eagle net. Centering feed out front, and that shot goes wide off the end wall, but the Red Knights maintaining possession. Play up into the far side corner. Now bouncing puck off the end wall. Centering feed out front once again, and Walston again with a great save. 3:20 remaining second period as play continues around the Eagle net into the near side corner. Red Knights trying to knock a player off the puck behind the Eagle net. Come the Eagles eventually looking to break out. They'll bring it into neutral ice, past the red line into the offensive zone, 2-on-3. Great stick skills. This puck is loose out front. They score! Dustin Sorensen once again with an absolutely fantastic goal from his knees. Sorensen was working his way around defenders, and then he ended up in front of Olsen, the goaltender. Ended up on his knees, able to fake out Olsen, and he scores to tie the game. So this period has been dominated by Dustin Sorensen, and this game is tied at 2. That one coming at 12:05. Let's play quickly down into the offensive zone for the Red Knights as Walston has one get through to him. It gets away from him briefly, but he's able to dive on the rebound with 2:38 remaining in the period. So Dustin Sorensen showing off some great stick work. Eventually on his knees, able to get that tying goal. It's a face-off to the left of Walston, controlled by the Red Knights. There's a shot in front of the bench that goes into the far side corner. Red Knights possessing it now in the near corner. This play continuing as the Red Knights eventually come out of the puck battle with it. They'll set something up a high as that one deflects off of a skate wide. Good job by Walston to protect against the stuff attempt on his left pad. Red Knights, though, continuing to possess the puck in the offensive zone. They'll play it behind the net. They'll bank it off the end wall and bring it into the near corner. Centering fee, there's nobody there. Puck is still loose. Red Knights, though, containing possession. They'll bring it around the net once again. Play it along the near side boards. Dump it back into the corner, or it's played by the Eagles around their net. Play trickles onto the far side. Red Knights bring it back around the net. There's a shot from the blue line that'll deflect off of a skate, and it'll go into the far side corner. 1:30 remaining in the second period, 2-2 tie game. There's a shot that goes off of the pad of the goaltender for the Eagles and into the corner. Knights possessing it in the middle. We might have our first penalty coming up of the game with 1:15 remaining in the second period. And indeed, that will be the case. It'll be Andrew Good getting the gate. Looks like a trip most likely, but it'll be the first power play of the game for either team, coming with 1:15 remaining in the second period. So a face-off deep in the Rochester Lourdes zone. Will be to the right of Walston. Face-off won by the Eagles. They'll play it into the near side corner. The battle forms behind the net. Play tricks its way around the net. Eagles looking to get its way out here. Sorensen, the man of the period. Here he comes again. 2-on-1 for the Eagles the other way. Sorensen, nice job by the Red Knights, able to keep Sorensen at bay this time, though. Dustin Sorensen, who had an incredible goal just a moment ago, as he was able to fake out the goaltender Olsen on the ice. And here come the Red Knights the other way. 40 seconds remaining in the period. Snaking their way through the offensive zone, end up with a shot on goal, saved by Walston. Play continuing behind the Eagle net into the far side corner. Red Knights looking to set something up. No reverse direction. Now a cross ice pass to the near side into the near corner. 21 seconds remaining in the period. The Eagles come out with it. They get a clear all the way down to the other end of the ice with 15 seconds remaining in the period. 57 seconds now remaining in the power play. Andrew Good getting the tripping penalty. The Red Knights quickly back into the offensive zone, working its way into the center of the ice, but then knocked off the puck as the second period will come to an end. Exciting second period as the Eagles able to dramatically tip the tables back in the other direction from that first period that was dominated by Sanilt St. Margaret's. 34-6 shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights, but the only thing that matters is that the only two goals of that period came off the stick of Dustin Sorensen for the Eagles, and we'll go to the second intermission tied at 2. Still be 45 seconds of power play time to start the third period for the Red Knights. So with that in mind, we'll take a break. You're listening to Catholic Sports Network coverage of Benilde St. Margaret's hockey. Be back in a little bit. Rice. A great job by Sorensen to break up that setup attempt by the Red Knights. The Red Knights playing it in their defensive zone, now through center Rice and the red line, bringing it into the offensive zone. There's a shot that goes off the shaft of the stick of Walston, and now on the far side boards, and then sent out to center Rice as it drifts its way down into the defensive zone for the Red Knights. 1:01 remaining in the penalty kill. 10:25 in regulation, 3-2. Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. Here come the Red Knights through the neutral zone into the offensive zone. Look to set something up in the middle, but able to be cleared out once again by the Eagles. This will go all the way down into the other end behind the Red Knight net. Red Knights playing it behind their own goal. 38 seconds remaining in the power play. 10:02 in the game. Now we just passed the 5-minute mark of the third period. We might have another penalty coming, possibly with 9:58 remaining. So it could put the Eagles in a 3-on-5 situation. They're going to say it's a offside penalty, and we're going to have a face-off outside the blue line. 32 seconds remaining in the power play. Red Knights control the face-off. They'll bring it into the offensive zone. They'll bank it off the near side wall. Now into the corner, looking to set something up down low. Sneaks its way through to the far side boards. Red Knights possessing it on the far side. They'll look to set something up high. Here's a winding up for a blast from just outside that St. Louis Park Orioles logo. This play continues along the near side boards. Now up on the far side. Penalty over. Back 5-on-5 as Gay looking for the hat trick. Just missed it. Saved by Walston. The Eagles send it out to center ice. Now in the offensive zone once again for the Red Knights. Look to set something up down low. Plays around the Eagle net. Now sent back out to center ice and all the way into the Red Knight defensive zone. Red Knights looking to bring it through the defensive zone. They'll bank it off the bench area boards along the far side. Now the Eagles send it back the other way. As Andrew Good after it for the Eagles. Now here come the Red Knights into the offensive zone once again. Into the far side corner, now playing it around the net. Throw something toward the net, didn't get a lot on it, and it'll drift its way into the far side corner. Eagles looking to flip it out, but can't. Be sent back in behind the net. It's loose out front. Red Knights able to set something up high. There's a shot down low, and it's walked down. Puck is still loose, and the shot goes wide with 8:05 remaining in regulation. Play continuing along the near side boards. Now in the neutral zone, sent in deep by the Eagles. That'll be an icing. The face-off coming back deep into the Rochester Lourdes zone. 7:58 remaining in regulation. Nice come out with it. There's a shot on goal that goes high and wide. 7:45 now remaining. Red Knights continuing the offensive attack. Looking up high, there's a thrown toward the net. That goes wide. Centering feed. It's still loose out front, and it's deflected back behind off the end wall. 7:30 now remaining in regulation. 44-8 shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. 7:22 remaining now in regulation. Eagles possessing it in their defensive zone. They'll bring it out to neutral ice. 2-on-2. Now a 3-on-3 at the blue line. They'll try to turn and back it out, but the Red Knights able to push it back out into the neutral zone. Now down back deep into the Rochester zone. 7:03 remaining in regulation. 3-2 in favor of the Red Knights. Red Knights with it in the offensive zone. It triples out into the face-off circle area. With the center in, still loose, and it's held onto by Walston. So 6:48 to go in regulation. 3-2, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. Face off to the right of Walston. banked around behind the net. Red Knights now with it in the corner, looking to set something up. Didn't get much on it with McNulty, but the Red Knights come back with it into the near side corner. Red Knights continuing to possess it along the near side. McNulty tries to throw it into traffic, but it's blocked. Picked up there by the Red Knights. So that one gets blocked as well. Play continues along the near side, now sent up into the far side corner. Eagles playing it there. It's tied up behind one of the Red Knights as the puck moves behind the net. Centering feed out front is still loose. Eventually held onto by Walston. 6:05 to go at regulation. The Red Knights winning the face-off. They'll play it behind the net, looking to set something up out front. It'll bank off either a skate or the side of the net. It'll come into the near side corner. Puck battle continues along the far side boards. That one sent in on goal, saved by Walston. And then sent out to neutral ice, but the Red Knights controlling it at the red line. They'll dump it in. 5:32 remaining in regulation. 3-2, Benil St. Margaret's with the lead. Play behind the net. And they score. Wasn't quite sure how that one got through Walston, but it did, and that'll get the Red Knights a 4-2 lead. Be Nick Dockman credited with the goal. That loose puck just hanging around out front, and Dockman able to put it home and make it 4-2 Benil St. Margaret's with 5:24 remaining. Face-off controlled by the Eagles at center ice and then dumped back in by the Red Knights. They'll play it behind the net. The Eagles looking to play it behind the net as well. Now on to neutral ice. Eagles trying to get it through, trying to get something going with 5 minutes remaining in the game. Red Knights back into the offensive zone. Having to pull up and skate around with Thompson, who scores. And just like that, it's a 3-goal game with 4:54 remaining in regulation. That was a 50th shot on goal for the Red Knights. So Will Thompson getting the goal for the Red Knights, who now have a comfortable 3-goal lead with 4:54 remaining. Center ice face-off, controlled by the Eagles, the front of their offensive zone. They'll send it past the red line. Red Knights playing it in front of their bench. Sent up to the red line, now into the offensive zone come the Knights once again. Dumped down into the corner. It's Toft with it. Toft to throw us towards the net, and it's held onto by Walston. Oh, the Knights finally able to solve Walston once and for all. They started off with the 2 quick goals, but then Walston really settled in, and he was stopping everything. They were throwing at him, and now the Red Knights able to break through for 3 here in the final frame to break that 2-2 tie, and they lead 5-2 with 4:15 remaining in regulation. Eagles bringing it through center ice. Play it behind the net. Red Knights looking to push it out ahead. 4:02 remaining now in regulation. Red Knights in their defensive zone. They'll bring it out to neutral ice. 2-on-2, here they come. That pass just out of reach. I want to thank you for being so patient. It appears we do have our video component online. So for those who stuck with our audio-only coverage, thank you so much for your patience. 3:42 remaining now in regulation. A face-off deep in the Rochester zone. Eagles playing it behind their net. Centering feed out front by the Red Knights ends up twerking its way back to Sam Ryan, who has one of the goals. That one thrown toward the net and into traffic, and it's blocked. Still loose. Here come the Eagles out into the near side corner. 3:16 remaining in regulation. Looking up top. Try to get it down with Ryan. Ryan will send it back around the net. Centering feed goes off the back of the net. Now it's loose out front. Eagles have it. They'll bring it out into the neutral zone. 1-on-4 for the Eagles there. We are now under 3 minutes remaining. 2:50 remaining in regulation. Well, the Red Knights able to bounce back. They got off to that fast start. Things really slowed down, and then Dustin Sorensen took over the second period for the Lourdes Eagles. Those 2 goals, including that one just fantastic goal where he was on his knees. Fortunately, we don't have a video to show you of that goal, but it was fantastic. Now 2:22 remaining in regulation. 5-2. 52 shots on goal to match the 5-2 score. Eagles win the face-off. They'll bring it into the offensive zone. Looking to get something was Weston Adamson, but he got knocked off the puck as he tried to drive toward the net. Now sent all the way down. This could go for an icing, but it'll be ruled that it went off the... If one of the players on its way down. We're now under 2 minutes, 1:57 remaining in regulation. As the Red Knights able to score once again. Not quite sure once again how that one able to sneak its way in. Some of these innocent looking pucks are now finding the back of the net, so things really going Benilde St. Margaret's way here in the final frame. That's their 4th goal of the 3rd period. 6-2 in favor of the Red Knights. Puck up off the glass in front of the bench area. Eagles possessing it now along the near side boards. 1:41 remaining in the game. Here's Thompson pushing it up ahead for Toby Curtis. Curtis with a shot on goal saved by Walston. 1:30 now remaining in the game. So coming up next, of course, we'll have the varsity match between these 2 teams, Rochester Lourdes and Benilde St. Margaret's. This play continues in the near side corner. That one thrown high up off the glass. Red Knights able to hold it in. 1:12 remaining in regulation. One minute now remaining. Red Knights controlling in center ice. There's a couple of big hits put on in front of us, down on the near side boards. Eagles back into the offensive zone, 2-on-1 if they hurry, but the centering feed just a little bit out of reach of Rule Brumley. Work its way back down into the defensive zone for the Eagles. 37 seconds now remaining in the game. Well, thank you once again for being patient with us during our technical difficulties this afternoon. We got everything worked out. We'll have a stoppage with 21 seconds remaining. 6-2, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. Hockey Day, Minnesota. Thank you for joining us on this special celebration day every year. Now, there are plenty of games that you could be picking from this afternoon, but fortunately, we're glad you're here with us. We'll have coincidental minors assessed with 21 seconds remaining. 5-on-5 play will continue. Puck sent down into the Red Knight zone, 15 seconds remaining. And thrown toward the net, then kicked into the near side corner. 5 seconds remaining. And that'll do it. The Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights defeats the Rochester Lourdes Eagles by a score of 6-2. First period and the third period really were the Red Knights breaded their butter this afternoon. Second period was very much different. Second period dominated by the visiting Eagles. They were able to get it 2-2 tie. So that'll do it for this game. Don't go anywhere though. Stay tuned right here to the Catholic Sports Network because we've got coverage of the varsity game between these two schools coming up next. I got a quick question. Is there a level adjuster? Because I can just barely hear myself and it's really bothering me. Okay. Now I can hear myself a little. Well, the problem is it's more like an echo, not really. Actually, what I think we should do is we go the other way and just turn it down completely. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like an echo, and it's. Yeah. Oh, actually, no. Check 1, 2. Yeah, that'll be. That should be all right. Check 1, 2. goaltender Smith able to hold on to that one. We'll have a face-off deep in the offensive zone. 36 seconds remaining in the power play as that shot into traffic is blocked and sent back out to the point where the pie, that one goes wide on the shot attempt by Newhouse. Knights continuing to possess it in their own zone. Up high, that, we're going to say no goal if the net came loose. It's a very strange angle shot. It would have been a great goal had it counted, but unfortunately the net coming loose prior. We're going to have some kind of discussion about it. 16 seconds remaining in the penalty. Face-off continuing on the moves down into the offensive zone as the power play comes to an end. Yeah, we'll have to. What? Sorry about the audio difficulties we've been having through the first period. 2-0. Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. First goal of the season to Jordan Rue, who gave the Red Knights the 2-0 lead. Matt Kachura getting his 8th of the season. That put the Red Knights up 1-0 very early into the game. 5-2 shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. 7:15 remaining in the first period. Face off to the left of Carson Limezan, today's goaltender for the Red Knights. Play moves down into the offensive zone for the Red Knights. 7:03 now in the first period. Play behind the net. We'll get it back up to the point with Johnson. That one down low. That shot in traffic still loose. That one coming off the stick of Callahan. That one back up high to the top of the point. Eagles playing it behind their net. And sent all the way down into the Red Knight end. Back to get it for the Knights is Clark. Clark speeding his way through center ice. Clark into the offensive zone, leaves it back behind him for Barr. Barr's shot is blocked. Flecks its way out into the neutral zone. 6:20 remaining in the first period. Here's Hain. Hain through center ice. He'll work his way along the left wing side. Had that one poked away from him. Eventually possessed by the Eagles. That's Colton Swee with it. Now the Eagles send this one all the way down. Offside though, as chasing it into the zone was Zach Angst. 6:01 now in the first period. 2-0 in favor of the Red Knights. Face off to the left of Clark. It's One end controlled by the Knights. We're to get it and then banking it up into the corner. It's Peter Keese. This one sent now down into the near side corner. Poked away though. Trying to get a stick on it was Kyle Hickey. Wasn't able to do it though. Good job by the Knights, able to hold the zone. Knights, they'll have to reset out at center ice if the puck eventually drifts down. Here's Keese in front of his bench. Now Newhouse with it on the near side. Looks behind him, tries to feed Hain. Hain turned and tried to get it behind him, but nobody there. Here's Hain back at the high point of his own zone. The Knights being pressured, they'll bring it back into the offensive zone. Here's one thrown in down deep by Peter Keese. Thank you once again for joining us here on this Hockey Day, Minnesota. Alongside Chase Rapp and Joe Hentius, I'm Patrick Lilia with the action this afternoon here on the Catholic Sports Network. The face-off deep in the offensive zone for the Knights, but the Eagles able to poke it down. Able to grab it is Schweitzer. Schweitzer gets it up high, way up ahead at the red line. And then sent back into the Red Knight zone. It's Foley. Foley had it poked away from him. Eagles into the zone. It was Luke Newman who was doing some damage for the Eagles there, but the Red Knights back the other way with Drew. Drew, who has one of the goals, has it poked away from him. Oh, look at that feed, but that one ends up going wide of the net. Able to spin and shoot it was Kochurek, who has one of the goals for the Red Knights. Play continuing now, able to hold that one in, but then has it go off of his stick out of the zone. Red Knights will have to reset. One was Foley. Now into the offensive zone is Rue. Rue, that one goes off of a skate, but it drifts out to Foley, and Foley's blast goes wide into the corner. 4:03 to go, first period. Red Knights still on the attack. It's loose, they score! It'll be Kochurek again for the second time in the period, and it's 3-0 Red Knights. So Matt Kochurek getting his 9th of the season, his second today. And what a start for the Red Knights. Coming at 13:03. Matt Kochurek, his 9th of the season, second today. It's 3-0 Red Knights. And banked off the near side boards. Knights possessing it at the red line. Poked down into the offensive zone by Norkowski. And they score again! The Red Knights take a 4-0 lead in the first period. That'll be Norkowski getting credit for that one. It'll be his second of the season, James Norkowski. At 13:18 of the first period, it's 4-0 Benilde St. Margaret's. Center ice face-off swept down into the offensive zone for the Eagles. Red Knights bank it off the boards. They come back into the offensive zone with Norkowski, who just scored the goal. Now out into the neutral zone once again. Red Knights resetting deep in their defensive zone. Getting it up ahead of the blue line is Ian Barr. Barr had that one go off of his stick. The Eagles push it down into the zone. The Court Buck who sent it down. And the Eagles the other way, they might have caught Rochester on a change. In with a shot, that goes high over the net by Barr. Oh, Benilde dominating all facets of play in the early going. Here's a 2-on-1 the other way. Here's Barr. Barr scores! Ian Barr with his 4th goal of the season. It's 5-0 Benilde St. Margaret's. So this is a great hockey day so far if you're a Benilde St. Margaret's fan. Eagles control the face-off. They'll dump it down into the zone as it deflects off the stick of Limesand up into the netting, and we'll have a face-off deep in the Red Knight zone. 2:45 to go here in the first period. 5-0, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead. The Eagles win the face-off. That one thrown toward the net wide by Van Albrecht. Knights able to push it out into the neutral zone, but then sent back into the defensive zone for the Knights. Come the Knights back the other way. Puck in front of the penalty box area. The Knights come out with it. Here could be another 3-on-1 odd man rush, trying to center it. Couldn't do it. Puck still loose out front. Eagles come back the other way. Working his way through the neutral zone is Van Albrecht. He'll dump that one in deep. Knights will play it behind their net. They'll bank it off the near side boards. Winding up for a blast that'll be held on to by Limesand. Buck who let that one go. So with 1:53 to go here in the first period, we'll have a face-off again deep in the Red Knight zone. Face off to the left of Limesand, controlled by the Red Knights. They'll play it behind their net. Taking a hit out front, and able to hold the zone are the Eagles, as have a little bit of a pile up out front. This was Bischel and Jared Anderson, and this one will go all the way down for a stoppage with 1:35 remaining in the first period. We're so glad you could join us here on the Catholic Sports Network. We apologize for the audio difficulties. Face-off controlled by the Red Knights. We'll play it around their net, up along the far side with Geertsen. Geertsen will get it toward the blue line, but eventually is poked out. The Red Knights back the other way with Michael McNeil. McNeil slows it up, looking center it. It'll bleed its way through all the way to the other side. Now here come the Red Knights back the other way. Newman in with speed. Newman has that one go up off the crossbar. We'll have a penalty coming. We'll have a loose net. 1:08 to go in the period. No doubt no choice but for Peter Keese to hook Newman, as Newman getting in almost unopposed. It'll be the first power play of the game. Face off deep in the Eagle offensive zone. They control the face-off with Carcel. Carcel toward the net. It's loose. They score! Quick power play goal, and the Lourdes Eagles are on the board. It'll be Seth Carcel who let that initial shot go, gets his own rebound, and it's 5-1 in favor of the Red Knights. And coming at 16 minutes. 1 minute remaining exactly in the period. This play resumes off the center ice face-off. Red Knights into the offensive zone. Here they come again with a shot saved by Noah Friedrich. The Eagles quickly back the other way. 56 seconds now remaining in the period. Puck loose out front. That one's still loose as Limesand wasn't quite sure where it was off the rebound attempt. It ended up floating its way back out for another shot attempt. So Noah Friedrich, the new goaltender, the senior for the Lourdes Eagles. Tough afternoon for Ryan Smith. Face off to the right of Limesand coming. Controlled by the Eagles, winding up for the blast. Able to snag it with the glove is Limesand. That was Van Albrecht who let that one go. 44.2 remaining in the period. Reset, they'll do it again. This time the Red Knights control the face-off, trying to bring it around the net with Schweitzer. He had it taken away. Back down to Van Albrecht. Albrecht trying to get it down low, but it banks off of Hain instead. Took its way into the near side corner. Pushed back toward the back of the net. Leads all the way through. Albrecht trying to get to it before Newhouse could, and he does. The Red Knights, though, maintain the offensive zone. It's loose out front, swept out of there by the Eagles. 10 seconds remaining in the period. Come the other way as Albrecht takes a couple of hits down into the near side corner. That'll bring us to the end of the first period. First period dominated entirely by Benilde St. Margaret's, though the Eagles get that late power play tally to get on the board and at least staunch the bleeding for the moment. So we'll go to the first intermission. Benilde St. Margaret's 5, Rochester Lourdes 1. Take a break. You're watching the Catholic Sports Network coverage of Benilde St. Margaret's boys hockey. Welcome back, everybody, for the start of the second period here at the St. Louis Rec Center with the host Red Knights up 5-1. Thank you for tuning in here on the Catholic Sports Network this afternoon. Hockey Day, Minnesota. Thank you for celebrating part of that day with us. Red Knights jumped out to a 5-0 lead in that first period. The Lord Eagles getting one back on a late power play goal. That's how we got to the 5-1 tally as the Eagles win the face-off, but the Red Knights able to drive it back down into the zone. Now they'll reset in their own defensive zone. Bring it ahead. They'll skip that one up off the near side boards intended for Haynes. The Eagles the other direction up the near side boards. Centering feed skips off of his stick down into the corner. The Knights up ahead as that long slat pass gets all the way through. That'll go down all the way to the Eagle defensive end. Then played up there by Jared Anderson, but he didn't get a lot on it because it went off a body or two. The Eagles will play it around the net with Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's Collins in near the red line for the Knights. He's fighting through a stick check. Eventually does have it taken away though, and then pop back out into the neutral zone. Losing that one off of his stick as he started to make a move was Brady Crawling. Crawling, who might have had a little bit of speed if he'd gotten going, but the puck going off of his stick. Now back down into the offensive zone. Here's Collins down in the corner, fighting through a couple of Eagles. The Eagles coming back up the right wing side. And getting that one ahead to Zach Angst. Angst has that one poked away from him as he started to drive into the offensive zone. We'll kick it back out to Court Buck up high. That one going into traffic and then off the end wall with a loud thud. And the Eagles out with it as that one going off the stick of Morris. Morris has that one drift up into the corner where Morris will entangle in a battle there with Nate Schweitzer. Schweitzer came away with it. Good job by the Eagles to hold the zone, and now we're going to have a puck played with a high stick. Face-off coming down deep into the Eagle defensive zone. 15-16 to go here in the second period. The Eagles with the 5-1 lead. Face-off to the left of the goaltender Friedrich. Winning the face-off and then launching a shot that's blocked was Michael McNeil. The Eagles back around the net. Reversing direction, and then reversing direction again is Newman. Newman sends it up into center ice. That skipped off the stick of Hoffbauer. That's sent all the way back down into the Eagle zone. Newman trying to play it behind the net. He's harassed by a couple of Eagles. He'll reverse direction. Play it up alongside the far side boards. Eagles with it in the neutral zone now. They'll dump it into their offensive zone. Playing it behind the net there. It's Peter Keys. Now here come the Red Knights, 2-on-1, they score! Charlie Warnard with the goal. The Warnard's first goal of the season, and it's 6-1. The 5-goal lead is restored. Coming at 2:34 of the second period, 6-1 Red Knights with the lead. Eagles push it back down into the offensive zone. The Red Knights, though, along the far side boards with it, is poked away there. Eagles able to hold the zone, still able to hold the zone, and now sent back down into the near side corner where the Red Knights will play it in front of their own net with Clark trying to spring another scoring opportunity as the Eagles able to catch up to that one. Eagles back up the left wing side, poked up just in front of the bench area, still in play. Eagles into the zone 1-on-4, and able to hold on to it is Lime Sand. 13:45 remaining in the second period. Red Knights 6-1 lead over Rochester Lourdes. Face-off coming deep in the Red Knight zone. Eagles win the face-off, quickly thrown toward the net, saved and held onto by Limesand. The Red Knights have scored 6 times on just 15 shots. That most recent attempt, that was the 8th shot on goal for the Eagles. Eagles playing it behind their net with Angst. Angst will bring it back around the other way. Red Knights at the red line. Going poked away from behind with the stick of Mortensen. Eagles back the other direction with Van Albrecht. Knights playing it behind their net, now along the near side boards. Pushed up ahead of the neutral zone, just ahead of Norkoski, who has one of the goals. Norkoski tried to get it, and that one came free and ended up being a shot attempt for Mortensen and a save by Friedrich. 13 minutes now remaining in the second period, working their way back around the Eagle net. Got by Norkoski with the stick, and this one will be sent all the way down for an icing and a face-off coming back deep into the Lourdes zone with 12:48 remaining in the second period. So Hockey Day Minnesota going great for the Red Knights thus far with a 6-1 lead. And the Eagles around their net, banking it off the near side boards and then bleeding its way down where Foley will have it for the Red Knights. Get it up ahead. Here comes Hain into the zone. Hain was saved by Friedrich. Play now continuing in the Red Knight zone. Eagles out to center ice. They'll dump it in. It's Paul Hoffbauer, one of the top 3 members on the Rochester line, as that puck will bleed through all the way down to the far end of the ice. Knights playing it in their own zone. Get that one ahead to Foley. That'll go off of his stick, but here comes Newhouse in. Newhouse in. Newhouse saved by Friedrich. He covers up the rebound. Jerome Newhouse looking to get in on the action. Seen him almost break free a couple of times. He does there, gets a great shot on goal, saved and held onto by Friedrich after initially letting the rebound go. The Eagles control the face-off. Here's Carcel behind his net. He'll bank it off the boards, go out to center ice. Oh, look quickly into the zone is Morris, but he's offside. Starting to see some of these Eagles breaking out the speed a bit. Fortunately, down 5 goals, they're going to need to start figuring out how to get these pucks in the net. Face-off outside of the blue line. Controlled in the defensive zone by the Knights. Eagles throw that one toward the net. That'll skip wide of Limesand and the net, and it'll ring around the near side. Now out into the neutral zone. Knights chasing it down. Got to it first as Carcel, who'll play it along the near side. Knights able to hold the zone, though, with Charlie Bischel. Bischel working his way in. Bischel around the net. Back to the near side. Leaves it down for Clark. Clark will send it back in deep. And we'll have a stoppage of play, and I think a penalty coming up here. A slashing call. With the Knights on their first power play. It'll be Van Albrecht headed. For my apologies, that'll be Seth Carcel headed to the box for the slash. The Knights get their first power play with 11:17 remaining here in the second period. They can look to add to their 6-1 lead. Eagles get an early clear. Knights will play it around their net. Bringing it up ahead is Clark. Clark will get it up to Schweitzer. Schweitzer trying to center it, but nobody there. It'll bleed its way through to Hain down on the near side. He'll play behind the Eagle net. Knights able to poke it out. Able to not hold the zone as Collins. He'll run back and get it. Collins working his way back in. Just able to come in on sides for the Knights in that sequence. Schweitzer behind the net. Back over to Hain. Back down to Schweitzer, and now over to Hain again. Hain lets it rip, it's loose. And the redirect just goes wide. Here's Collins behind the net. He's tied up there with Brady crawling. Eagles not able to get a clear though. Here's Hain in. Hain down low. Collins loose. They score. The Red Knights score on the power play. And that'll be Joe Collins, the team's leading scorer, adding to his total. It'll be his 11th of the season. It's 7-1 Red Knights. Puck just sitting loose for the Red Knights to whack at it, and Collins just getting it across the goal line. I think it's 7-1, power play goal. Coming at 6:49 of the second period. Foley and Hain with the assists. Red Knights controlling the face-off deep in their defensive zone rather. This Keese with it. Keese will send it ahead. That'll bleed its way all the way through. Able to catch up to it. This Rue who has one of the goals. Rue will work his way around the net. There's Keys. Keys will dump that one back in deep. It's Kochurek who has 2 goals. He's tied up behind the net by a pair of Eagles. There's Adamson. Adamson out ahead. The Red Knights possessing it in the neutral zone and then sent in deep by Rue. Albrecht. Albrecht trying to work his way ahead, but has that one taken away by the Knights. The resetting pass ended up banking off a couple of skates. Here's them, the Eagles into the offensive zone. They had to come in off sides and they had to reset. That one just dumped in deep, now down into the offensive zone for the Knights, where we'll have an icing and a face-off deep in the Knights defensive zone with 9:03 remaining in the second period. 7-1 in favor of the host Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. Kyle Hickey taking the face-off with Nate Clark. And the Knights back the other way. It's Mortensen. Mortensen down low trying to feed it to Norkoski. Norkoski not able to get a good shot on the deflection. And we'll have another icing and a face-off now deep in the Eagle zone with 8:47 remaining in the second period. Thank you for joining us here on the Catholic Sports Network, a throwback broadcast. I believe you have not tried to adjust your computer screen. Red Knights controlling the face-off. Get it back to Schweitzer. Thrown toward the net by Barr. Still loose. Eagles coming back the other way, trying to get it out of their zone. It's Angst with it. Zach Angst back behind his net now. We'll chip it up to Kraling. And then sent back behind the Eagle net. Great job by the Red Knights, not even giving these Eagles a semblance of a chance for a clear. Red Knights able to now have to vacate those. Looks like they were going to hold the zone again, but they weren't able to, with the puck able to trickle its way out. Back deep once again into the Eagle zone. Centering feed is intercepted by the Eagles and brought back out to center ice. Here they come through center with Buck. Buck is tied up and taken away from behind by McNeil. This one banked off the board, trying to get it ahead with Barr, but held in by the Eagles. Now sent out to center ice. Eagles have it there with Carcel. Carcel will play it toward the net. Knights playing it now in their defensive zone. Now come the Knights through center ice with Norkoski. Norkoski with speed down to catch up to that loose puck. Eagles, though, take it away behind their net. Will bank it around and play it Off the far side boards, out to neutral ice. As Foley sends that one back into the zone. Hain able to get it in deep for the Red Knights. Puck battle in the far side corner. The Knights with the centering feed, just a little bit too hot out of reach. Keys holds the zone for the Knights. One shot up into the netting. We'll have a face-off with 6:51 remaining in the second period. 7-1, Benilde St. Margaret's with the lead over Rochester Lourdes. Hain will take the face-off for the Red Knights. It's Colton Swee for the Eagles. Eagles playing the face-off behind their net with Albrecht. Albrecht will bank it off the boards up ahead to neutral ice, and coming in offside, though, is Hain. Well, face-off coming outside the Rochester blue line with 6:41 now to play in the second period. Hain taking the face-off. Red Knights back into the zone. Newhouse, that's that one poked away from him as he gained the blue line. Eagles back down into their offensive zone. Knights trying to play it behind their net and played around for Hain. It's a drift toward the center of the ice area, but now the Knights back the other way with a 4-on-2 rush. There's a shot and a rebound that comes back out into the near side corner. It's Foley. Foley plays it back around the net. Now down to Hain. Hain slowing it up, surveying. I'll throw that one into the far side corner. It's Collins behind the net. Collins will come out with it. Will bank it off the net to Newhouse. Newhouse toward the net. That one goes wide. Foley, though, able to maintain possession for the Knights. It's Hain. Hain back down to Foley. Thrown toward the net. It's loose. They score! Joe Collins, once again, it's 8-1 in favor of the Red Knights. They're going to credit this one to Newhouse. So Newhouse finally getting on the goal sheet. It'll be his 6th of the season. 8-1, Red Knights with the lead. 5:39 remaining in the second period. Chipped all the way down into the offensive zone by the Eagles. Played all the way around. Eagles just looking for some kind of positive to come out of this game. They're down 8-1 now. Red Knights have just been incredibly superior in all aspects of the game. As this cross-ice pass goes all the way to the far side boards. They'll be held in by Albrecht. Eagles, though, still maintaining the zone for the moment, and now the Red Knights back the other way. Deflected high up into the netting on the shot attempt by Brady Gertson. And with 4:51 remaining in the second period, it's 8-1. Red Knights, 24-8. Shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. Puck is loose out front. It's still loose, and it's swept out of there by the Eagles defenders. Red Knights possessing it at center ice. Back into the Knights zone. And this will wind up for a blast off the stick of Hoffbauer. Hoffbauer, one of that big three for the Eagles. He's been quiet today. Puck battle along the near side boards and then driven back in deep. It's back the other way, banking it off the near side boards to Schweitzer. It's Johnson into the zone. They score! Jordan Rue on the redirect. It's 9-1. Rue with his second goal of the game, second of the season, both of them coming today. This is flat out dominant performance by the Red Knights continuing. 5 in the first, 4 thus far in the second. Knights control the face-off at center ice, trying to poke it through, but they can't quite do it. The Eagles briefly sent it into the offensive zone. Now the Knights back the other way with it. 2-on-1, another odd man rush. Puck is loose out front, and it'll be swept out by the Eagles rather. They'll try to get it out to center ice. Red Knights, though, will take it back. They'll reset. There's Mortensen the other way, trying to get it ahead to Norkoski. It banked off a couple of sticks back in deep to the offensive zone. It's Norkoski along the near side. The one poked back out to center ice. Norkoski onside at the line. He worked his way in. He gets a shot in on Friedrich, and will have to be swept out of there as a penalty coming against Lourdes. It's having to hook Norkoski as he was driving in. It'll be Van Albrecht getting the gate this time. Another power play opportunity for the Knights. 1 for 2. Chance to add on to this 9-1 lead. And a second penalty added, maybe a. There's going to be a 5-on-3 for 2 minutes. Full 2-minute 5-on-3. Newhouse getting it back down low. Here's Callahan. Callahan works his way in. That's blocked. It's Kochurek, who has a pair of goals. Back down to Callahan. Now up to Newhouse. To Kochurek. Kochurek toward the net. It's loose out front. Then trying to go 5-hole and somehow able to make the save on his back is Friedrich, and we'll have a face-off. 2:45 remaining in the period. 1:33 in the 5-on-3. The double penalties assessed against Lourdes. The Eagles trying to get a face-off win so they can clear it out, but the Knights again just maintaining that relentless pressure. Here's Hain. Hain will throw that one toward the net, and that one's held on to by Friedrich. So the double penalties resulting in the 5-on-3 for a full 2 minutes. I mean, you really don't see that often at all. Here's Hain at the logo. Take it back. Now we'll throw it toward the net. That one's scooted side. Here's Collins behind the net with it for the Knights. Collins will get it back down to Clark. Back up to Hain. Hain winds up, and that shot is blocked. Schweitzer keeping possession of it for the Knights. Collins behind the net. Collins works his way in, and that shot is stopped and held onto by Friedrich. So still 44 seconds in this 5-on-3. Feel like an eternity perhaps for some of these Eagles players. Warner wins the face-off for the Knights. To Schweitzer. Schweitzer will send it back down low to Bischel. Schweitzer works his way in, and that one deflects up into the netting. Knights just keep throwing the kitchen sink at this Rochester Lourdes team. They win the face-off once again. It's Bischel. Up to Callahan. There's a shot that gets into traffic, and that's blocked. And finally, a much-needed clear for the Eagles. 17 seconds remaining in the 5-on-3 power play. with a full 2 minute 5-on-3, so we'll go right back to 5-on-5 when the 5-on-3 expires. The Eagles able to get another clear, and that will do it for the power play. As both players back on the ice, and we're at full strength. 1:07 remaining in the period. Skating his way through is, then sending it wide is Schweitzer. Will be held in at the other end briefly, but then poked back out. Puck battle in front of the Red Knight bench. .47 seconds remaining in the period. 9-1, Red Knights with the lead. Sent all the way down in deep. Now a face-off deep in the Eagle zone with 32.2 remaining in the period. Lukowski to take the face-off. He'll win it for the Knights. The Knights have been very good in the face-off circle, except now that the Eagles do end up controlling it. They'll bring it through center ice. 3-on-2 if they had hurried, but Red Knights able to catch up with that one. Red Knights back into the zone with speed. This way around the net is Barr. Barr will pull up, will play it back around. 10 seconds remaining in the period, and there's a shot on goal held on to by Friedrich. Face off to the left of Friedrich this time. We're continuing to bounce around now. It will come out to the Eagles, but that'll bring us to the end of the second period. Once again dominated by the host Benilde St. Margaret's Red Knights. They score 4 more times, and they'll take a 9-1 lead into the second intermission. You're watching Catholic Sports Network coverage of Benilde St. Margaret boys hockey. Welcome back to the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Start of the third period, it's 9-1 in favor of the Red Knights, so we'll have running time for as long as the Knights can maintain a 6-goal lead. New goaltender in net for the Red Knights. It'll be the junior Jonathan Vitelli. Takes over from Carson Limesand, who stopped 8 shots on 9 attempts through the first 2 periods. As Red Knights playing in their zone, they'll push it up ahead off the stick of McNeil. Played around by Collins. Red Knights, who got things going right away, took a 5-0 lead. The Eagles got a late power play goal in the first period to make it 5-1. The Knights responded with 4 more goals in the second period to make it 9-1. About the only thing that's gone right for Lourdes today, they killed off a full 2-minute 5-on-3 happening late in the second period. Well, that about the only positive thing that Rochester Lourdes can take out of this game was killing off that 5-on-3. Face off down deep in the Eagle defensive zone off the icing. By the Eagles, reversing direction, trying to push it ahead. It's crawling. The Eagles will try to get something going as Vitelli snags the glove side shot, holds on. We'll have a face-off in deep in Red Knight territory. 15:24 now and counting remaining in the third period. Well, the Red Knights appearing to be on a way to a resounding blowout victory here on Hockey Day, Minnesota. Face off to the right of Vitelli, still loose out front. Knights come away with it, they score. Zach Angst, who's been working hard down there. One of the other few positive things that the Eagles can take out of this is the play of Zach Angst. Angst able to get his second of the season there. 9-2 in favor of the Red Knights. 14:32 and counting remaining in the game. Knights quickly back ahead. There's a shot on goal, knocked down off the stick of Rue. Noah Friedrich, who took over starting in the late in the first period for the Eagles. Eagles off the face-off. They'll bring it around behind their own net with Crawling. Crawling bringing it ahead. He'll dump it into the offensive zone. Knights will play it around their net. Tied up behind the net. Centering feed, trying to take a whack at it as he fell down. With Ryan Fitzpatrick. Knights back into the offensive zone. Kachurik will play it down into the corner. Play comes back out to neutral ice. For the Knights in their zone, they'll bank it off the boards in front of their bench. Schweitzer with it. Schweitzer will send it up ahead to Kachurik. Kachurik working his way in. He'll be harassed. He'll have the puck knocked away from him. 13:07 remaining as that centering pass goes all the way up to Johnson. Johnson listed on the roster as playing both forward and defense. 12:53 and counting remaining in the game. 29-10 in shots on goal in favor of the Red Knights. Red Knights win the face-off. They control it as the centering feed toward the net is blocked. Play along the near side board, still loose. When centered, they score. No, rather it's stopped and held onto by Friedrich. I was pretty sure that one was ticketed for the back of the net. Somehow Friedrich able to get a glove on that one. Off the face-off, it's still loose. Now it trickles back out to one of the Red Knights. That's McNeil. He'll play it back around the net. Eagles now playing it as this one flipped up into the crowd. Seth Carcel, who saw that one head up into the seating area. We'll have another face-off deep in the Rochester Lourdes end with 11:45 and counting remaining in the game. And if the officials confer, they're going to bring it out past the blue line area. So face-off just outside of the Rochester blue line. As Rochester wins the face-off, they force it down into the neutral zone. The Red Knights setting up in their own zone. Long pass, a little bit too far, but here come the Knights 2-on-1. Play it behind their net. Look to slow down, kill some time. 11 minutes remaining in the game. The Eagles coming back the other way with it, able to get it out to neutral ice. Knights will reset in their zone. They'll bank it off the near side boards. There's a Barr in. Barr with a shot high over the net off the glass. Carries all the way back out to the neutral zone. Then in deep by Peter Keys. Continue to play it in the Eagle end. 10:31 remaining now. Sent out to center ice. Stopped and held on to by Vitelli at the other end. Interesting Star Wars music choice this afternoon here at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. Don't really hear that except if the student band is playing it. The band is not here today. That was just the PA playing a recording of it, of the original John Williams track. And the Red Knights into the zone, centering feet a little bit too far out of reach of Bischel. Eagles back out to center ice with it, but then taken away by the Knights. Looked initially like they might have come in onside, but then ruled to have come in off, and we'll have a face-off outside of the Rochester zone with 9:07 remaining in regulation. 9-2, the Red Knights with the lead. Knights win the face-off. They steam their way back into the offensive zone. A shot that's blocked. Still loose out front of the Eagle net. There's Carcel playing it behind the net for the Eagles. Whiffs on it, trying to get it up to Adamson. Carcel still playing it. He'll reverse direction, bring it up the other way. It'll trip and go to the ice. Lose the puck. Collins trying to center it for the Red Knights. That one just out of reach of Newhouse. Eagles back up the other direction with Adamson. Adamson will send that one into the corner. It's McNeil. McNeil will bank it off the boards. Here come the Knights the other way. 2-on-1. Newhouse with Collins. That Newhouse takes the shot himself. It's saved. And the rebound caroms all the way out to the near side boards. Winding up on that one was McNeil. That one hit a skate. Ricochets its way back out to center ice. As Hain enters the zone offside. Of a face-off outside of the Rochester zone. 7:47 remaining in regulation and counting. Knights push the face-off into the offensive zone, but then the Eagles send it back out. Knights controlling it along the near side boards. Trying to get it up ahead to Rue. That one goes off the side of the net. 7:14 now remaining. There's Keys down low. Keys with a shot saved and held on to by Friedrich. Faceoff will come out to Friedrich's left. Jet Johnson taking it for the Knights. Pops loose, and the Eagles come out with it. Come back the other way with Ethan Smith, but Smith will have that one poked away from him. Back out into the neutral zone area. Eagles trying to work their way ahead. The Knights will play it behind their net, and they'll bank it into the corner. In the offensive zone, the Knights come. That one's shot on goal. It's still loose, and they score. Red Knights make it 10-2. Be Peter Keys getting that one. Keys with his first goal of the season. Looks like that's going to make 3 first-time goal scorers this season in this game. Clock ticking under 6 minutes, 5:50 and counting. The Red Knights hit double digits here on Hockey Day. Knights bank the face-off off the near side board, still out in the neutral zone. Actually, they'll force their way ahead. Schweitzer with a shot that's kicked aside into the corner. And able to be held in by the Knights. We'll have a stoppage of play. We're at the frozen puck with 5:17 and counting remaining in the game. We're going to have a penalty assessed. Going to the box is Hoffbauer. The Knights will get a late power play. 4:55 remaining in the game. Faceoff will come deep into the Lord end. The interesting thing about those running time penalties is that some of the time ticks off even with player just on his way to the box. Knights in their offensive zone. Schweitzer toward the net, and we'll have some extracurricular activity. Some of these Rochester players frustrated with how this game has gone. Really trail at 10-2 with 4:15 remaining, so let's see if more penalties are going to come out of that scrum. Doesn't look like any additional penalties are going to be assessed. They'll play on. Clock now under 4 minutes, 3:54. Now we're going to have another stoppage. We are ready for play. The faceoff trickles its way down to the near side. Leaned out to neutral ice by the Eagles. Puck just kind of lazily sits there. Eagles eventually have to reset, click it up into their own zone. They'll get a clear on the power play. 3:31 now. Centering feed, trying to get something, maybe shorthanded, but swept out of there by the Knights. 3:24 remaining in the game. 30 seconds in the penalty time. Knights coming back the other way with Bischel. Bischel through center ice. We'll drop that one behind him for Keys. And Warner has that one taken away from him and sent all the way back down. 3 minutes remaining in the game. 7 seconds in the power play. Banked off the boards on the near side by Foley. Brings to the end of the power play. 2:47 and counting remaining in regulation. 10-2, Red Knights with the lead. We have another stoppage of play. 2:30 remaining in regulation. The conversation with the Red Knight bench. We have a penalty coming against the Red Knights. McNeil headed to the box. Looks like he will spend the remainder of the game in the penalty unit. We're under 2 minutes. Too many men penalty. McNeil will serve the final couple of minutes of this one in the penalty box. 1:43 remaining. At center ice is Hain. Hain will skate his way in. Hain we're going to do some nice stick work, and we have another penalty coming. As Buck trips up or hooked Hain as Hain was trying to work his way toward the net. So we're going to finish this game with a little bit of 4-on-4 action, barring no further penalties. 1:10 remaining. We tick under 1 minute. Face off deep in the Knights controlling it in the zone. 4-on-4. There's a shot that goes wide. That was off the stick of Kochurik, looking for his third goal of the day. Knights playing it in their zone. 39 seconds remaining. Now up to center ice. Dumped in by the Eagles. Colton Swee. Schweitzer working his way up the right wing side. Had poked away from him as he entered the offensive zone. 16 seconds remaining. Eagles one last potential offensive rush, and they come in off sides, and that should do it for this one as the clock will run out and the Mount St. Margaret Red Knights with a resounding 10-2 victory, a game that was never in doubt from the first face-off. They take this one 10-2. Thank you for tuning in to the Catholic Sports Network presentation today of Benoit St. Margaret Boys Hockey. For Chase and Joe, I'm Patrick Lilia. Thanks for tuning in this afternoon. Have a good night and a great hockey day.